Welcome to this first series of interviews where I help my young fans on Facebook get their financial house in order. And I really like the younger generation. I feel that it's a good time to educate them so that they're not influenced by all this get rich quick schemes, which is going to destroy them and leave a scar for life and maybe even destroy their family. We see a lot of bad news on this every day. So the first fan here is a young dude named Muhammad Afiq, and the problem is really about cash flow. So let's look at a bit about his history now. Now, he's now an internet marketer, but he wishes to establish cash flow in 2017 by taking a job. He wants the discipline to save money every month because that's the way to building wealth. And he also wants to own property. So based on these wishes that he has, the problems and the issues that he's facing, I am establishing a simple framework here, a simple financial plan to establish strong cash flow so that allows him to borrow and leverage whatever he borrows in order to create future wealth. And I put this in three different steps. Step number one, we need to establish his capacity to borrow. Now, he already has internet income now. I've told him to keep that into one account. That's for your business income. Now, for the working income that he's going to get from his future employer, put it in another account. Don't mix the two because you're going to be able to print two separate bank statements, and then the bank that wants to borrow you money will also know how much is your fixed income, how much is your variable income. So from this total income also, I said, hey, the first thing you need to do is get your papers in order. Make sure that the employer that is going to hire you has a salary slip, is submitting your name to income tax, is submitting your retirement money to EPF and also SOCSO. It might not seem important now, but you see, all of these documents are used for evidence in the future when you want to take a loan. So you need all these paperwork. You can't really skimp on that. So let's say in 2017, Afiq is now able to get a job that basically averages about $2,000 in salary every single month. And since he is a guy that lives modestly, he's able to say half of this salary. Let's say it's $1,000. Now, based on a 3-year loan, a 36-month loan, this would mean technically he'd be able to raise about 36,000 in loans, which is comes out to 50% of his salary, which he is very, very capable of paying. So, what does he do with this 36,000? Does he go party like it's 1999? Does he go buy a nice car? Does he go looking for chicks to build? So this is what we want him to do. You see, we'd like him to take the 36,000 and basically leverage it up so that it controls more than 36,000. And this is the way he's going to build wealth, by using other people's money. Because if you're going to use your own money, man, you're going to take a very long time and you might die of boredom. So he's already told me that he wants to be a real estate agent, taking this as a part-time job in addition to his full-time job. I think this is a purely brilliant idea, because when you're a real estate agent, you have a lot of information in market intelligence which no one else has. And using this market intelligence, you're then able to pinpoint the properties that are in demand, not only from the population, but also in demand for it to be rented. So essentially, you could buy property at a very low price than the public can, because you know what's happening. For example, you could buy distressed properties, or even the ones that go up for auction, and through your relationships with clients, you can then rent out this property very, very quickly, so that you are not stuck with a liability from the banks. So this is what he'll do. With the 36,000, what we want him to do is essentially look for property worth maybe somewhere around $220,000, where he needs to pay 22,000 as the down payment. Now this 22,000 allows him to control 220,000 worth of properties. And over time, as the value increases, the net effect is that his equity increases. In this example, I'm just saying that after 3 years, it's potentially possible for him to make around 25% profit on this 222,000 property, where it will increase in price from 220,000 to 275,000. This means that he will yield a net profit of 55,000. Okay, that's from the property alone. Now, we already talked that he had about $36,000. Where does he put the balance of 14,000? I'm suggesting that he puts this in a mutual fund. Here in Malaysia, we have something called Amanah Saham Bumiputra, which would allow him to get about 8% per annum compounded on this 14,000, and after 3 years this would be 17,600. So in total, at the end of 3 years, once he pays off all the loans, he's going to have a total of $72,600. Essentially, he's going to double the money that he borrowed after 3 years. And this is when his life begins. Now we got to congratulate him, because now he has two choices. He can either quit his job and do his own business, if he's not very happy with his boss, or if he wants to be his own boss, or he can keep on investing and working to build more cash flow and acquire more assets that are going to make him more prosperous in the future. And see, this is how we do it. When you are building wealth, you guys got to think of yourself not as individuals but as a business with proper cash flow, with proper documentation, in order to borrow money from the bank and leverage it and then make money in the future.
We would be honored if you would join.
If you like a free video financial plan from our team, just share on Facebook and PM me.